All right, everybody. So this is the second to last additional system. You are already putting so many things into place that a lot of businesses don't have, and I want you to know that you're doing amazing. And one of the things that I mentioned in that first module was talking about how to manage your mindset. You're going to start to see a pattern. You're going to find things in your mindset that are going to become cyclical. You'll start to notice your triggers, start to notice things that change with that, and that's what this mindset cycles system is for. Now, when you have your mindset system, I want you to know that having a business is a roller coaster, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about tracking the trends of your mindset and how to make sure that your past is mitigated for the future. You're going to create a support plan for how you want to think and feel as you go through these roller coasters and waves. And last but not least, you're going to apply having the low, empowered, and high value cycles within your business. So, a reminder, going back, you're going to start to understand, hopefully you've been doing a lot of self-coaching, you've seen it in our coaching sessions, and you're going to understand how your subconscious works, what is going on in your self-concept, and you're going to start to recognize, oh, there are common memories that are really big deals for me. For me, it's like I never want to hurt people. That is my 6th grade me. I always want to make people happy. That is my 7th grade and 8th grade me. There's lots of trends that I've seen when I was an adult, not just in childhood, but when I was an adult. I have this thought that when things get good, then things go bad. I've got like another shoe's gonna drop kind of thing. And you'll start to get to know that within yourself and start to learn how to be familiar with that and solve for it faster instead of it bringing you down within your business. So the most important thing is knowing that you're going to be riding the rapids of your business. There are going to be highs and there are going to be lows. And what happens is as you are up leveling, if you're going from a level, let's say you're already at a level 6 for you, like you've already overcome so much, as you go from level 6 to level 7, guess what happens? Your brain says, no, it has changed. We want to keep you the same. And this is what we call an upper limit problem. It's when you experience enough of yourself to change, but your brain has not fully shifted. So it wants to pull you back to a level 6 you. And it will do that by self-sabotaging most of the time. That's from some theories from Gay Hendricks. He wrote a book called The Upper Limit Problem. So those are something that The Big Leap was the book, and he talks about the upper limit problem. And it's just something to be aware of. As you grow and get better, your brain will say no, and it's just important to ride that wave. So when, again, like I was mentioning before, you are experiencing this new self-concept shift, you're leveling up. Neuroceptors, if we're getting sciencey about it, they're going to say, no, we do not want you to be different. We like it to be the same. It's efficient and easy for us. And remember, that is the part of your brain that runs the show 80% of the time. So what will happen is it will go and it will come back and it'll start to take over. And it will protect you from these perceived threats. And this is where it's really important to remember how to go from activated to regulated. Now within this reminder about the polyvagal theory, we want to make sure that we can recognize things that you've been experiencing that cause that sympathetic reaction. And the best way for me to do this is by listening to my feelings. I'll get like a gut feeling and I'll be like, and then I know to pause. Instead of reacting to it, I'm like, oh, there's a thought that's happening. There's a feeling that's being released, and you're going to learn how to thought stop or feeling stop. Within your model, you're going to learn how to have a thought, a feeling, and then not take action from that. But in order to do that, you'll see next, you have to go through the cycles. So in order for you to see your nervous system responses within the cycles, we're going to go to the next slide. And within that, you've got to figure out, okay, you're going to start to see the cycles and you'll be like, okay, these are things that my nervous system and brain think are threats. So within that, you want to learn how to self-regulate. That means that for me, self-coaching is a huge thing that helps me self-regulate. And then what we want to do is we want to focus on the things that are helping you to create more peace in your life. So those things could be exercise, that could be meditation, that could be resting. A lot of times when I'm going through some big self-concept shifts, like recently I was featured on a large podcast, and I literally had to take pretty much a week and a half or 2 weeks just to chill out and help my nervous system calm down. If you don't do that and you try and keep pushing through, what will happen is you will find struggle in your results. The other thing is co-regulating. So you can self-regulate, but you can also co-regulate. That's what this group is for. It is to help you co-regulate. You can also get coached. You can reach out to a therapist. You can reach out to friends, vent to others, and have people bolster you up to grow. Now within that, we want to prevent your past triggers and know that it's just going to keep coming up again, but you'll get better and better at hearing it and learning from it each time. And you're never in one cycle the whole time, but you want to look back and you want to see, okay, is there a trend? There probably is. You want to know what sends your nervous system into a state of struggle so that you can mitigate it. And remember that a low value cycle doesn't mean that it's a no value cycle. It just means that your business is still working, but you are just not really feeling it, and that's normal and okay pretty much half of the time. And I will let you know that I was in kind of like a low value cycle for 7 months, and I still made $70K. So you can still make a lot of money and still not be feeling it, and that's okay. However, when you want to get out of your funk, we want to notice there's a shift. So when you go and you're like, I'm struggling, to I'm okay, what happens? There is a change. So you want to go out of the funk and you want to know what are the things that help you move forward. We're going to call that your empowered cycles. And then we're also going to track the times in your business that your brain doesn't always want to remember, but your high value cycles, when you're actually doing and feeling your best. So you can read these next examples on your own time, but I'm just going to go through the first example with you. So for instance, for one person signing up for a program, one new client, for me, that makes my brain think the thought, I messed up. And guess what? It makes me feel really helpless. So what do? I'm not thinking about the people I've been talking to. I pour things into things I feel comfortable with, like presentations and posting. I'm not grateful for the people who have signed up. And that thought, I messed up, undermines my ability to get more people to sign up for the program. And I noticed this happening, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is a trend. If I get quote unquote only one person to sign up, or if I have 0 consults, I'm like, nothing is working. And I'm like, this is not a thought I want to continue to think. So instead, same circumstance, one person signing up, I want to make the round better and I want to improve it. So then you can think about what you would need to do and evaluate. It's like, okay, within the actions, I would need to evaluate, self-coach, remind myself that I'm safe, doing my content in advance, reaching out to people, remembering that even if I deliver this program to 2 people, it's worth doing. And I would feel certainty and love. You can add more than one if you want to the empowering cycle. And then the thought is, I'm so glad I get to help people help others. And I love myself and I'm going to have my own back through this. So you can feel, it just feels so much more empowering. It's so much more ease creating for your nervous system. And then when I hit the goal for a webinar, that could be something that sets me into a high value cycle. So empowering and lower together. And then the high value cycle, those are things that always make me think wonderful thoughts and feel good. So I want to recognize that as well, because you can take those thoughts and use it for other things. So for me, hitting the goal for the webinar makes me think people want this. I can use that thought for every other aspect of my business. When I'm marketing, when I'm selling, when I'm delivering, I can continue to think that thought. And I feel grounded, So what I do is I share about the webinar, I build relationships, I help fixate on social media, and the result is I compel people to want to sign up. So you can see how these keep trending, and you want to keep tracking them as you go. So another important thing is you want to go and you want to think about the obstacles that you think you could encounter in the future, and you want to make sure that you are allowing any positive, you want to make sure you're planning for that. So when I know that I'm on a podcast, which is a next level of visibility for me, I planned in some time to freak out. I canceled calls at night, I made sure I had plenty of time to rest, and I didn't see any friends. I just took time for me for the past 2 weeks. And it's been really helpful for me to just calm down and up level faster. So again, like I mentioned before, we want to thought stop and thought swap as much as possible. So you want to know the things that are triggering you, and you want to just focus on the feeling. So being like shame, terror, if you feel that feeling, noticing a familiar thought like, I'm a failure, this will never be successful, this is horrible, I'm never going to hit my annual goal. And you want to be able to switch it before you take action from the thought, this is terrible, switch it to something like, I'm glad I put myself out there. And you'll start and you'll get better at this every single time. It's a process. It's you're going to have to go through it more and more, and you'll get better and better at shifting and thought stopping and thought interrupting for the future just by practicing it today. And I said, you are the captain now. Quote from a movie. But it's just showing that the more you can get into control, the more you can find that control within yourself, the better your business is going to be. And I just want to say the world is growing because of you. Thank you so much for what you guys are doing. We have one more additional system left, and then we're going to be opening this up for way more coaching in the future.